When she told me after the press, we can go to the gym after that. She said, you done at 5.
Think about it. That's one workout that day.
Somebody must have said something. We must have got a rat into the camp or something. Somebody had a...
See how he handles this guy. You know, I saw he stops that guy from doing everything that he does.
The drama surrounding Shakur Stevenson's preparation for Teofimo Lopez didn't start with trash talk, a viral clip, or even the fight announcement itself. It started quietly, inside the betting lines, where something didn't sit right. Odds that felt off, numbers that didn't reflect reality, whispers that someone, somewhere, already knew what was coming. Shakur Stevenson wasn't supposed to be this discounted. Not with his skill set. Not with his resume. Not with the kind of work he was putting in behind closed doors. Yet there it was, a betting line that made seasoned observers pause and ask a dangerous question. What if the public is about to learn something the hard way? Inside the gym, far away from the noise, Shakur Stevenson wasn't concerned with odds, narratives, or opinions. He was concerned with sharpening his blade. Training alongside Terence Crawford wasn't a headline grab for him. It was a calculated move. An experience built on knowledge, IQ, the kind of mastery that only fighters at the highest level can exchange without words. For Shakur, working with Crawford wasn't about clout. It was about evolution. He spoke about Bud with respect, not awe, emphasizing that Crawford carried himself like a normal man despite his greatness. That humility mattered. It mirrored Shakur's own mindset. No ego, no shortcuts. Just work. There's a saying in boxing that the moment you think you know everything is the moment your decline begins. Shakur lives by the opposite philosophy. He listens. He studies. He absorbs. In that gym, he didn't talk back. He didn't argue. He didn't pretend to know better. He watched, learned, and adjusted. Crawford noticed it immediately. Shakur wasn't just talented. He was a sponge. Every correction, every angle, every subtle detail was stored and repurposed. That's how fighters become dangerous. It's not loud, not flashy, dangerous. Those watching from the outside were starting to notice something different. The usual criticism followed Shakur everywhere. Too slick, too safe, too defensive. But this version of Shakur wasn't content with simply outboxing opponents. Under Crawford's guidance, he was being pushed into uncomfortable territory. Riskier exchanges. Sharper counters. More assertive dominance. Pros who stepped into the gym or watched a single sparring session walked away saying the same thing. This version was brutal. January 31st wasn't just another date on the calendar. It was a deadline. Every training session was built around a battle-tested plan, designed specifically for Teofimo Lopez. This wasn't generic preparation. This was surgical. Shakur showed up on time, locked in, cutting off distractions and dialing into a level of focus that only elite fighters reach when something big is at stake. The workouts were intense. Some would say excessive, but Shakur welcomed it because this fight demanded more than talent. It demanded discipline. The schedule alone told the story. Media obligations, press events, immediate trips to the gym, flights turning into training days. No wasted hours. One workout here, one workout there. No excuses, no breaks. The grind didn't pause for comfort. It adapted. And Shakur embraced it fully. What made this camp even more dangerous was the guidance surrounding him. Terence Crawford wasn't the only voice in his ear. Floyd Mayweather was checking in, watching, advising, offering insights only someone who dominated an era could provide. Floyd didn't need to say much. His presence alone carried weight. And when he spoke, Shakur listened. Patient advice, strategic reminders, perspective on being the bigger name versus holding the belt, lessons on timing, control, and silence. Shakur didn't see this as pressure. He saw it as validation. Two of the greatest fighters of this generation believed in what he was building. That kind of backing doesn't inflate you. It sharpens you. Sparring sessions became laboratories. Crawford would stop him mid-exchange, break down foot placement, timing, angles, straight shots. A step here. cut him off there. Shakur followed instructions, even when they challenged his instincts. He understood something many fighters never learn. You don't need to agree in the moment to learn something valuable. Crawford saw it too. He believed he had pushed Shakur beyond his limits, mentally and physically. Prepared him for the kind of chess match Teofimo Lopez brings. A fight not won with raw emotion, but with calculation. Meanwhile, Teofimo Lopez wasn't impressed, or at least he pretended not to be. In interviews, he doubled down on confidence, predicting a knockout, insisting the fight wouldn't go the distance. Lights out. Any round. No decision. To him, this wasn't a test. It was a statement opportunity. Beat Shakur Stevenson, and suddenly he's back in pound-for-pound conversations, back in the spotlight, back on top. But those close to Shakur saw the comments differently. They didn't hear confidence. They heard underestimation. Shakur himself brushed it off. The idea that he couldn't last 12 rounds felt laughable to him. He reminded everyone that what people sleep on most is his power. A town's gloves change everything. You don't need one-punch knockouts when every clean shot makes opponents rethink their approach. Shakur didn't promise chaos. He promised answers. No one took Lopez's comments more personally than Shakur's grandfather, Wally Moses, a man who has seen it all. A man who understands boxing beyond hype. To him, this fight was simple. No excuses. No narratives afterward. Two fighters enter. One moves on. One goes quiet. Moses believed Lopez had been average in recent performances. He didn't see spectacular dominance. He saw flaws. He saw patterns. And he believed Shakur would expose all of them. Wally didn't mince words when discussing Lopez's past fights. Against Cambosos. Against others. He saw a fighter who benefited from favorable matchups early and struggled once those advantages faded. He didn't see someone winning every round. He didn't see consistency. What he saw was a boxer whose confidence exceeded his execution. And Shakur's record spoke for itself. Undefeated. Methodical. Ruthless in his own way. Not loud, not theatrical. Just effective. Moses made it clear. Shakur doesn't talk to talk. He lets results speak. And that's exactly what Lopez would be facing. As training footage circulated, reactions from boxing professionals poured in. Shawn Porter didn't hesitate to share what he witnessed. His first time watching Shakur spar left a lasting impression. Fighters known for movement suddenly stopped moving. Speedsters froze. Pressure fighters lost their rhythm. It wasn't luck. It was control. Porter described watching Shakur completely shut down a mover in under a minute. No adjustments needed. Just immediate dominance. Then came a pressure fighter. Same result. Different approach. Same outcome. That's when Porter saw the similarity. Not imitation. Not comparison. But echoes of Floyd Mayweather's ability to take away what opponents do best. This wasn't about being flashy. It was about suffocation. Jermaine Ortiz added another layer to the conversation. Having faced Teofimo Lopez himself, he offered a realistic breakdown. He predicted movement, caution, feints without commitment. A fight that might look busy without being violent. He believed Shakur would control the early rounds, dictate pace, and force Lopez into uncomfortable decisions. Ortiz even revealed he once had a contract lined up to fight Shakur at 135. The opportunity passed. Weight classes changed. Paths diverged. But his respect for Shakur's ability remained. In his eyes, Shakur had everything needed to win. Bernie the boxer wasn't as reserved. He dismissed any chance Lopez had outright. To him, Shakur possessed the Mayweather effect. The ability to defuse opponents mentally before breaking them down physically. He acknowledged Shakur's choice in some fights to prioritize safety over spectacle, but believed this moment demanded more.